Hello, it's Douglas. My great niece McKenzie knows me as John. So, how are you over in Clovis? Where's it, Fresno? Clovis. She wants me to teach her a little bit of guitar stuff. And I said I would. And I'm also going to encourage her to check out other dudes on YouTube as well. I know you're being stubborn and saying, no, I want John and only John to teach me. Don't be like that. Open your mind, because you can learn off anyone. I'm also going to be disabling comments because I don't want to argue with anybody. I don't have the patience anymore. And this is actually between me and my great niece. I was going to say grandniece. That doesn't make sense. But I've obviously made it public so you can get something out of it or laugh at me being an idiot. I'm just going to show you the guitar, the names of the parts. I think I have an understanding with your mom, McKenzie, that she's going to quiz you. So you have to learn stuff. So, okay, this is an electric guitar. It's a little bit different shaped to yours, but it's going to have the same kind of parts and things. I'll bring out one of my other guitars and then you'll see that there's not much difference. So a lot of the electric guitars have the same features, but you know, some things are modified for the guitar player. Okay, so basically, there's a body. This is the body. This part right here is the body. This part right here obviously is the neck. This part here is the head stock. It's called the head stock. We're gonna start from, I guess, this way, move our way up. So where the strings go in here, that is the bridge. This piece of metal right here is the bridge. And it holds all the strings together so that you can play the guitar, really. The things that the strings sit in, those are called saddles. Okay, saddles, bridge, saddles. That's pretty much it. We're not gonna go, you know. These things, okay, if you can see these things right here, there you go. These things right here, these are the pickups. These are the microphones for the strings. And you'll have a switch that dictates, this is the toggle switch, and it's 5-way toggle, which means if you have it set to this position right here, this is the microphone being used. If you click it one, you're using these two. You click it in the middle, you're using the one in the middle. Or is it all three? Don't quote me on that. One more click, these two. One more click, this one. Usually people have it set either there or there. Unless you want to get really picky. If you get really picky with your tones, you might like it there, you might like it there, whatever. I personally, all I need is a 2-way toggle because I only use 2 pickups. I'll just smash it one way or the other, but that's just me. Here you've got a volume knob, and you've got 2 tone knobs. I want to say this one's for these two, and this one's for these two. I don't know how it works out. Look, I usually have the tone knobs always set to cranked, which is clockwise, fully clockwise. The volume knob acts as your on-off switch if you're plugged into an amp. I'll show you what I mean. My amp is on. Now, if you're stopping and there's like, hear all the noise, there's like noise and things, you just take your volume knob, turn it all the way off. That's like your off switch. Okay, that's pretty much it. What do we have next? Got the pickups, we got the 5-way toggle switch. Oh, this guy right here, this is your input jack. See, this is where you take this guy, which is your guitar cord or your guitar lead if you're living out in Australia and England and probably New Zealand. Bam, that goes in there like that. You have your neck, which is this beautiful thing right here. Before I forget, this here is a scratch plate, and they call it that, so if you're using a pick, you're not going to blemish the wood it's just made of plastic. Some guitars have it, some guitars don't. I actually prefer the ones that don't. And if you get wear and tear on your guitar, that's cool. It means you've used it, you know. I like to keep my guitars fairly pristine, but I'm not going to be an idiot. If I get wear and tear on a guitar and it starts to make a little blemish, that just, you know, those are war scars. These right here, these are cutaways. Now I believe you only have one, because this, you don't have a cutaway up top, so it kind of curves down like that. It's not any big deal. You have like a Les Paul shape, which we'll get into later. The reason for the cutaways is just so you can get your hand to the higher frets. What are frets? Frets are these metal things right here. You see these bad boys? These are the frets. This is what dictate what note you're playing. You also have fret markers, which are gonna help you down the track. So you have one at the 3rd, 5th, 7, 9, 12, and then it kind of repeats. 12 to 15, 17, 19, 21. We'll get into those later, but those will help you out if you're playing all over the neck. They're little landmarks that you can use to kind of help you out and see what you're doing. Also, fret markers are also, they should be, some of them aren't, they should be, there'll be a little dot on top. That'll kind of help you out. Maybe if you're standing up and you can't see the frets so much anymore, and you're looking down, you'll be able to see them from here as well. Okay, coming up this way, this white thing right here is called the nut. Some are made of metal, and I'll show you why in a little bit. This metal thing right here in the middle, it's called a truss rod, and it goes all the way down the neck. And if your neck is bowing or it's warped, you'll get somebody smarter than me to mess with the truss rod, because the truss rod is kind of curved. In here it kind of goes curved, so you can turn it in such a way that'll either bring the neck back or move it forward, depending on what's going on with your guitar. And a guitar, you get a guitar technician to deal with that. These metal things here where the strings go in, these are the tuners. So, you know, you've seen this before. They help you tune the guitar, obviously. I believe, if you're looking down on the tuning pegs, these are the tuning pegs here. If you look down on them, if you string your guitar correctly, if you're to tighten it, you go counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. If you're loosening, you'll be doing clockwise. And that's pretty much where we're at. This thing right here, this metal thing right here, is keeping the B and the high E strings down. It's called a string retainer. I honestly don't know what it does. Maybe something to do with the tension of those two high strings. I'm not sure, but it's usually something that is done with the B string and the high E, your two highest or thinnest strings. And yeah, this is the headstock. This is going to have the lovely name of, this is where all the guitar branding usually goes. I've just always known it to be here. So this is a Samick, and Alex got this guitar when she was 15 at a one of those stores. She slept overnight, she got it for 15 bucks. And I use it because it's easy to tune and it doesn't give me much hassle. And I actually, it's an okay guitar to play. And that's basically it. I'll show you the guitar I play and I'll point out the differences, but for the most part you're gonna notice that all guitars are more or less alike. Okay, now this is my guitar that I use. It has a 7th string, so it's a little bit thicker in the neck, but if you notice, all the components are here still. So let's give it a little tour. Try not to blind you with this. The scratch plate is mirrored, so you can see my ring light, which is wonderful. So let's see, how are we gonna do this? Oh geez. So the bridge is still here, but this has a whammy bar. This has one of these things, and what it does, McKenzie, is it takes the note so that's a whammy bar. This is called a Floyd Rose. That's the brand of the whammy bar. So basically you can push down and get all your... Or you can even pull up. I don't like pulling up because sometimes you break strings. So yeah, this pushes down and pulls up. And if you notice in the back, there are springs. So the way it works out is like the springs and the strings kind of balance each other out. And you know how I was saying that, I was telling you that some of the nuts are made of steel or metal. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, and they're locked down, so you have to get like an Allen wrench and lock these down. So you tune it, you lock them down, and then you fine tune here. So like fine tuners like a violin would have. But like I said, other than the whammy bar and some different features, like the input jack is there. I have one tone and one volume. I have a three-way toggle. So this would turn on that guy, I guess these two, and then that one, and I just smack it one way or the other. There was a little plastic deal-em-a-bob that sat on here like the other guitar, but I'm pretty aggressive at switching, and I would have knocked it off. I have more frets on this guitar than the other one, but as you can see, there's still markers, there's still frets. I still have dots here for the fret markers. Obviously 2 cutaways. The pickups are a bit thicker. These are called humbuckers. So these are a bit more aggressive sounding. The tone's a bit fuller than what was in that one, which were 3 single coil pickups. I wouldn't worry too much about that terminology right now, but scratch plate, fret markers, the Floyd Rose nut, the tuning pegs here, tuners here, and then I've got a place to hold my guitar picks in case I lose it. String retainer all the way across. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my baby. This is my main guitar. The 7th string is a low B. So just think of it as a 6th string. You can think of it as a 6th string with a low B string, which just makes it 7 strings, or you can think of it as its own entity, which is the 7th string. And yeah, I love this guitar a lot. So study what I have given you, which is know your parts of the guitar. This is a bolt-on neck, so the neck bolts onto the body. There are guitars that are one piece, and those are pretty expensive, and they're wonderful to play as well. What I've given you is pretty standard. You should know these things. This isn't anything that any other dude doesn't know, or girl. Like, it's the guitar. You gotta know your parts. All guitar players know this stuff. So I'm not giving you information that I've made up. This is just the guitar and how it works and how it was created and that kind of thing. You know what? You don't have these, but they were also on the other one. There's a couple of metal things here that where a guitar strap can go in. I've got mine strap locked, so my strap locks in to these bits right here. That way there's just no way it's gonna fall off, and obviously these are screwed into the guitar. I'm gonna quickly show you an acoustic guitar, because there's one hanging right there, and show you that even though I showed you 2 electrics, the acoustic still has a lot of the same stuff. Stay there. So a lot of this stuff still applies. Obviously, you don't, because it's a hollow body, it's an acoustic, you still have the bridge here. And these are pins, I believe. So you shove the string down in there and you take a pin and you shove that in there to keep it down. You still have your little scratch plate here for your guitar pick. Instead of pickups, you've got the hole. You still have frets, you still have fret markers. This thing here, and you've seen it probably, look, I don't know how to, this is one of those fancy ones. This is called a capo, C-A-P-O, capo. And it's basically like a nut, it's like a movable nut, think of it that way. So you can That's really high, and it should be down here. Anyway, we'll get to that later. You can move, this can be moved around. I don't know how to move this one around. I'm not gonna touch it because it's, A, it's not mine. B, I don't know how to work it. So yeah, if you don't know how to do something, don't mess with it. You've got, instead of having all the tuning pegs on one side, you have 3 on each, and the tuners are here, and that's pretty much it. So a lot like an electric, but an acoustic. So there you have it. And the branding, obviously, right there, Takamine. I'll just keep doing as many videos as I can. If I've found a video that's probably better than the one I'm making, I'm gonna put it down below in the description. So watch my video. In fact, watch my video and watch other people's videos, because they might touch on things that I don't. And look, I do the same when I'm looking at guitar stuff. I'll watch a couple of different players play the same solo, play the same song, and then I'm able to determine how I'm gonna approach the song, the solo, whatever it is. So hopefully I didn't bore you. Hopefully you've gained some information, and I think in a couple days I'll drop another video, and it'll be dealing with your amplifier, which your mother did give me a photo of, and I'll show you. Mine's not exactly like yours, but I'll try and actually find yours on YouTube, and I'll also, I can still kind of show you what's going on even though it's a different amp. So there you go. Hope you're well. Be good, stay in school, love you, bye.